nerds, welcome to episode 76, the real episode 76 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. Coming up this week on the big show, we have a gigantic rundown for you. Marvel starts shuffling the release schedule around as the weight of their massive portfolio could be causing some problems. Han Solo is now in the MCU. 6 seasons in a movie is a thing, and our very own Bill Poor gets some great news as his Sydney Sweeney is cast in a reboot of Barbarella. For the NerdBox question, Morgan gets a wee bit confused on who to smash, marry, or kill. Ready, hit it!
Hey nerds, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple, and you all know my co-pilot, Eric Hare.
Greetings, fellow nerds.
Hello, nerd.
Hello, nerd. Proper. It's so proper.
And Morgan Santo.
Hola.
You can find us on our social media like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all at the Nerd Rundown. And while you're there, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment. Even you audio-only people, you can take a moment out of your day, hop on YouTube, subscribe, and then leave a comment and or NerdBox question. For the usual, you can find us on all the major podcast services. Before we get to the rundown, here's a word about our first official sponsor. Hey, nerds, do you support your veterans? Do you support your first responders? Here at the Nerd Rundown, we support our heroes, not just the drawn heroes who wear a cape or throw a shield, but the real heroes who would lay their lives down so we can talk about whatever kind of nerd we are. Our new sponsor, CombattheChaos, is a veteran-owned clothing company. They donate portions of all profits to veteran and first responder supporting organizations that are focused on mental health and suicide prevention. Veterans are at a 57% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. This shirt is one of the items you can purchase if you follow the link to find them on Instagram at combat.the.chaos or at their website, combatthechaos.com. Now back to the rundown. First on the rundown, we got a lot of MCU news, boys. Let's start with just going through the dates real quick, and then we'll get some quick reactions because, my gosh, there's a lot of MCU. Avengers Secret Wars has moved from November 7th, 2025 to 5/1/26. So actually, let's stop here real quick at Avengers Secret Wars. Eric, this obviously gets rid of the notion of 2 Avengers movies in 1 calendar year.
Yep. Which
it extends Phase 6.
Yep.
But it is going to their famous early May spot where they've made all of their money.
Oh, it's summer blockbusters. They kick off the summer. They kick off the summer season. Yeah. I think pushing all this stuff back is pretty interesting. I'm not sure. I think there's just a lot of pieces that have fallen off and they can't quite make it work. And so just giving themselves some additional breathing room here is gonna be helpful. I think more time is better, rather than pushing these things up and trying to push an unrealistic timetable. Moving. It
is 2 different film crews, unlike last time with Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
It is and 1 or 2 directors really, but brothers directing set. This is 2 different directors. The first one is directed by Daniel Destin Critton, if I'm not mistaken, who directed Shang-Chi. He has been working with Jonathan Majors pretty closely as he's going to be directing the Kang Dynasty. And today, as a side note, we got some really, really cool movie posters for Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, and Jonathan Majors, King. What did you think of the posters, real quick, there, Morg?
Good Lord. If I could look like that someday, can somebody get me on the Creed and / a Marvel diet workout program, please, and pay me to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, just Jonathan Majors and the behind the scenes stuff he's been sharing and photos of himself, like I mean, I don't think the Avengers are going to be able to handle it. I don't know what they expect.
They're done. They are done.
They're done. I'm more afraid of him than Thanos.
Eric, who do you think he's going to be? Do you think so? In the first Creed, he fought a random dude. Second one, he fought Drago's son. So there was some connection. Obviously, Drago killing his dad. But a lot of people have speculated that he could be Clubber Lang's son. And
I was going to say, Clubber. I think that's probably where they're going to go.
That's what I was thinking.
Out though. I
Maybe.
feel like that,
you know what? It could be. It could be
connection.
something from his past. I have a feeling like everybody's up to this point. Everybody's been a person, you know, like you said, the random. But then
That's true.
But then the other one was like from his dad's past, not really necessarily his past. Well, I mean, not that his dad's past isn't his, but I don't know. This may be a dude that like grew up in the neighborhood and has always been like his nemesis or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
yeah. They do have the slogan, "You can't run from your past," is the slogan.
Oh.
So. You think you nailed that?
But who's past?
Right.
Yeah. More real quick thoughts on Secret Wars getting pushed back?
I'm fine with it. Like Eric is like, if it's being pushed back for good reason, where they're going to do something more, or they're taking more time to build it out, that's always great. Realistically, they're probably just doing it because, you know, May is cash time. So it just makes sense.
But I mean, even November, you know, you come out November 7th was the original one, you know, so you get the Thanksgiving holiday. You're gonna, and you're gonna make a ton of money over that Thanksgiving break time period and everything. So I think holistically, if we look over the entire, because this is just the first of many pushbacks on here, I just think realistically they couldn't get it all in the calendar time period that they wanted to get it in, I think is what really kind of came down to it. They just, Disney and Marvel were like,
right,
this isn't going to work.
I mean, truthfully, and if the build up to Secret Wars is good enough, I mean, they could release it on a Wednesday in the middle of nobody goes to a movie and everybody's going to go watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We waited 10 years for Endgame, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even been 10 years. So I do have a theory as to why it got pushed as well. We'll get to that in a little bit, because the next set of movies are very notable Marvel movies, as they're 3 Xbox men. Did that work? Xbox men properties?
Yeah, X-Fox properties.
How about Foxmen? Foxmen?
Fox X-Men? X-Foxmen? X-Men?
Anyway. X-Men?
Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, and Blade, their movies got pushed back, not by much. Fantastic Four, just a few months. Matt Shackman took over the directing role, wants to cast the movie, so that wasn't a surprise. Deadpool 3 getting pushed from June 6th, 2024 to November 8th, 2024. Marvel has released Ragnarok, and upcoming this November will be Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So they'll have 2 big time November tentpole releases under their belt before they get to that one, because that one's going to be a big one. It's Deadpool and it's going to be a big one. And then Blade gone through some drama in the last week, lost their director Bassem Tariq weeks before production was about to begin. Shooting was about to begin in January, but pre-production 3 months prior was about to start. Lost the director. Now they're in search of a director, and so that was an easy push for them. September 3rd, 2023 to 6/9/24. So hopefully that will be a very nice date for them when that movie comes out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Eric?
I'm not going to hold my breath on Blade on that one. So that one is until you get a director signed and all that. I think that even that's an ambitious, schedule there.
You do have a star cast, though.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
for now, I guess, but
That's true.
Mahershala Ali,
Yeah.
is a
You might say, all right,
he's a
get your
rising
shit
star.
together.
I mean, the dude, and for him to keep having to wait to do production stuff just to get in this role is he's going to have to be passing up role after role after role, and eventually Hollywood's going to stop casting him in stuff
Right.
if he's not careful. He's got to strike while the iron's hot, and if Blade is going to kill his career, which if I wouldn't say kill his career, but because the dude is immensely talented. Like I
Right.
I have no
Oh, yeah.
worries about that, but if you're not making movies, it's hard to keep being cast and stuff. So Blade
Great
could be in serious trouble. The other two
Yeah.
properties,
Very
I
good
don't
point.
really see too much. I think we're just looking at a little bit of time, a couple months on both of them. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So the Deadpool 3 thing I think is interesting just because I think that's moving into more of a Thanksgiving, be able to ride those Thanksgiving coattails type thing and make more
Holiday
more money.
season.
Yep. So kick off the holiday season with Deadpool. I mean, what could be more
That's
festive than that?
Good
Sounds
family
perfect.
event. Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds perfect.
We already talked about last week.
Light
We
the
talked
fires.
about the night, was it the David Harbour movie that's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a rash of holiday movies.
Season beatings.
that you'll see in the trailer train later on.
Yeah.
Morg, any thoughts on these three X-Fox properties?
Yeah, no, I mean, like Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, that it's such a short. That's fine. Blade 3, Blade, I'm very worried about.
Okay.
Just the stuff that you've been hearing. Apparently, he's not too happy with what's been going on. The original script I only had like 2 action scenes in it or something. Now these are all just rumors, leaks from people. But I'd believe it if they're, no more director and they're doing a whole new thing. So wouldn't surprise me.
Dynamite Eric point on that. I was like, well, it's still got a star, but that's a really, really good point.
Right.
At some point he might be like, you know what?
I could have made 5 other movies.
Yeah, exactly. Get your shit together. Messing with my money. All right. So then we move to what I believe is the main reason that these movies are getting pushed. Is Spider-Man 4 is now rumored for July 12th, 2024. Keep that symmetry going. Big news on this one is our good buddy Matt Murdock and Charlie Cox will be playing a big role alongside Kingpin in Spider-Man 4 as Kevin Feige not too long ago. I can't remember where it was. I think maybe Multiverse of Madness like premiere. He's like, yeah, now Spidey is on the street level side of the house, and so you got the other big time street level hero and Daredevil. Going to team them up. They team up all the time in the comics, and it's awesome every single time. To take down Kingpin, like that's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Which means, Daredevil Born Again also got some character descriptions that came out this week. So in conjunction with Daredevil Born Again leading into Spider-Man 4, which is now rumored for July 12th, Morgan, start with you on this one. I know you're very excited about more Matt Murdock.
Yes. I mean, the more Matt Murdock I get, the happier I am. This would be great because I mean, yeah. Spoiler. I mean, at this point, it's on you. But as we know, Spider-Man is now going back to the street level. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after the way things have ended. So I think that's perfect. And as far as I'm concerned, Daredevil's not going to know who he is anymore, because of the spell. So they are just going to be 2 strange superheroes to each other at that point. So I'm looking forward to it. And Kingpin, of course, if I've been dying to see Spider-Man fight Kingpin.
This is like your face light up.
I know. I'm pumped. As long as everybody in it's good and what we want, I'm going to be happy, and I think they'll do a good job. I don't think they're going to mess up Spider-Man not anytime soon. So I'm fairly confident in this, and I think they could do a lot, and it has a lot of potential. I'm excited.
Dude,
I'm
I
excited.
can't wait. Eric,
Mhm.
that means Kingpin rises to some serious levels of badassery if Spider-Man needs to get involved. Thoughts on that news about Spidey and Daredevil?
Hey man, the more Vincent D'Onofrio I have in my life, the
Yeah,
better I am gonna be. So
there you go.
the dude is just a phenomenal actor, and so I think it's great.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. There's just a lot. There's a lot of properties. The more they expand this out, the more they start to become in competition with themselves for dollars. Because they did have
Yeah.
Thunderbolts planned for that time period, and so we'll kind of see how that kind of changes, and that's probably going to move. Thunderbolts is going to move. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes, but I'd like to see more Charlie Cox and Daredevil. I think that's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting to see how Peter Parker navigates this after the spell,
Yeah.
because he's given an opportunity to just walk away from it all, and to just be a kid, and so that's going to be like it's going to be a thing. So I think that's why, to me, that's why I look at Kingpin as the bad guy. It makes sense to me, because it's like he's bad enough to where Peter Parker's not gonna be able to stay on the sidelines. He's just not. He just
Right.
won't let him. He can't do that. And then with Charlie Cox probably being in there, it'll be one of those. He'll come in and save the day or something like that. I don't know, but we'll see. It looks pretty cool.
He's gonna tell Spidey how many heartbeats are in the building.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever hear of She-Hulk?
Smash. Eric, this is a crazy turn of events. What was it? About 2 weeks ago, we reported that Harrison Ford laughably turned down Marvel Studios to star as General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, recently played by the late great William Hurt.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford has taken that mantle on now and has officially signed on to be Thunderbolt Ross.
Right. I had heard that
Captain America New World Order is where he'll make his debut.
That's where he's gonna make it.
I had heard that Kathleen Kennedy vetoed the announcement at D23 because she wanted the focus to just be on Indiana Jones and have the news be that. So, which I understand.
That's bigger news than Thaddeus Ross. So I can understand.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Horrible decision.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like coming out of there, it's a lot of fans are not like the rabid fans like us. We pay attention to that stuff, but the general public is going to be like, "Oh, well, Harrison Ford's in an MCU now." Like when the trailer comes out, they go, "Holy smokes! I can't believe Harrison Ford's in this." And for me, my opinion has not changed. I find Harrison Ford to be a grumpy old man, and I don't know what that's going to look like in
maybe
this.
that's what they need.
And I think it's funny, like, because there's people are like, well, is he gonna be the Hulk? Is he gonna be the is he gonna really fill out the Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross kit, because there is an alternate personality to him. And I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth are you going to get Harrison Ford into a motion capture suit. Like, that's not happening. I can tell you, he's going to be so pissed. And
I say, get off
my damn plane. He's looking at the contract like, what?
Yeah. I gotta wear that? No way, I'm not doing that. Yeah. So
let me get my readers.
Yep.
Morgan, Harrison Ford, do you think he'll put the mustache on for this role?
I'm not a fan of this casting. Don't get me wrong, I love Harrison Ford, but I feel like, I don't know, somebody just came up to me and was like, F it, I'll do it. And just signed away. Like, at this
like a
point,
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, like I'm even nervous about him being in the next Indiana Jones. Now I saw some of the leaked footage, the leaked trailer.
For Indy?
Yeah, looks
You
good.
did?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there's a leaked trailer out there.
yeah. It was
Oh, I
like,
gotta go find it.
Yeah.
so I mean, it that gave me some hopes, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I mean, he's in his 80s. I mean,
know, it's
we're,
like,
we're gonna get like 1 or 2
I
movies
guess
out
there's
of him.
no
maybe.
long-term plan here,
I
right?
know, like, that's, as bad as that sounds. I mean, obviously, I don't want the man to die, but like, I don't think that I don't think he's gonna be a Red Hulk. I feel like it's unless he's gonna be permanently Red Hulk at some point, so then they could just be like, well, it's Harrison Ford forever because now it's just the guy.
I don't
monster. And
know.
I just don't see Harrison Ford doing all that. But he was in Blade Runner, and he was in
He's in
Kingdom.
Blade Runner 50 years ago.
He was in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
That was a lot of green screen. So
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
that was
This is
such a good
an
movie.
interesting move for sure.
It is. I think it's strange. I
I
feel
think-
like they're just getting him just because of who he is, and they're going to have him do a one-off
Right.
movie here and done.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's the plan, is they just kill him off in that.
Well, he
you know?
is supposed to. So he's supposed to go on to resume the role in Thunderbolts, which comes out right after that. So that those two movies tied to each other.
So maybe
for more than one
Thunderbolts will kill
reason.
him.
Feels like this is a
so
stepping
maybe-
on a
maybe-
rake moment.
Maybe
for
they
him.
are. Maybe they'll kill him off in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
It's MCU
Maybe he
jumping the
becomes
shark.
the Red Hulk, and that's why they need.
That's what it is. Yeah, he's just.
That's what I'm
permanently-
saying. Is like, yeah, maybe this is like I don't know. Maybe this is the way they kill him off, or make
Ooh, I
him
got-
permanently.
Eric, you made a point earlier. So the next piece of this, you made a really great point earlier. Is the more they expand this stuff, they're just going to be in competition with themselves, right? And they have so many more properties that they need to get to introduce, not necessarily for this phase or the next phase, but I mean, when do we get Galactus? When do we get big time cosmic people like the Silver Surfer and
Yeah.
or one of the other like big time heroes of the MCU, Richard Rider, Nova, aka Nova, the last living Xandarian, not Xandarian. I think maybe it is Xandar.
No, it is. It's a Xandar. Well,
yeah.
I don't know what they call themselves, but the Xandar.
They call them Xandarians. Yeah. After Thanos wrecked that he wrecked that place off
Show 'em what's
screen
up.
in Infinity War. Maybe the only downside of Infinity War is we didn't get to see that, but they are now planning to do this as a special presentation, much like what they just did with Werewolf by Night, and what they will do here up in December with the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I think this is an interesting move. So it's like just a quick mini series, but I and if it succeeds, they can level them up. I don't know. What do you think?
Seasons in a movie.
Yeah, I don't mind this idea. The smaller bite-sized stuff, so you get a taste of, a quick short 6-episode series, and you get a taste of that particular character. And I think it's a way to kind of trial balloon certain superheroes to see whether or not they have what it takes to move into the next, to the bigger level. So it's like, hey, this 6-episode stint for Werewolf by Night, it didn't do very well, so we're just going to scrap that. But actually, it did do very well, so maybe we'll get more of that, or maybe we'll just get more of that style type stuff. And then same thing with this. So we're going to float the Nova project and do, 6 episodes, 50-minute episodes, 6 50-minute episodes, and see how that was. The way Moon Knight played out, I think was wildly successful for them. I really think that Moon Knight was way more successful than they anticipated. And so now they have kind of a blueprint for that, to where they can do these one-off series. So maybe we see more of Moon Knight, maybe we don't. I don't know. I'm sure with how successful it was, but in their minds it was probably a one-off. Like, we're just going to do this series. And
well, that's what Werewolf by Night is. Is a 52-minute TV.
Yeah, it's a little movie.
Yeah.
It's like a mini movie,
right,
back in the day. So, yeah,
but I think the Nova project is going to be like 6 50-minute episodes or something like that is what they're talking about, or are they talking about doing 50-minute?
No, they're talking about doing it in like these special
just as like hour long
special presentations.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
I mean, that's quite a bit of story to tell in one 50-minute thing. Werewolf by Night, you can kind of tell that, but Nova is kind of a bigger deal.
He's much bigger,
yeah.
And how do you tell his origin story?
Right, exactly. Like that's tough to do in an hour-long movie. And are these things officially tied in? Did they say? Like Werewolf by Night is.
We're in the multiverse, so right now everything's.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's. Dang it, that little.
Yeah.
It's just like Doctor Strange. I've seen every outcome. Only one works. So no matter what you say, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Cut off his arm. We tried that. It didn't
work.
I
mean, if they're gonna do just a single 50-minute deal, it's got to be easy. It's probably gonna be easier on the crews and overall the scheduling stuff is gonna be. But I just don't understand. To me, I look at that and I think, okay, that can't really fly long term because you're putting a lot of money into sets, brand new sets each time, and for 50 minutes, I don't know that you're going to get that much back on the investment, but we'll see. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I enjoyed the Werewolf by Night, but I don't. It's hard to explain. It's just the main monster in it was cool. I won't say anything. It's still relatively fresh. And they did a good job with that, but it's just weird that it's a special. It's like, am I gonna get more of this because I want more of it?
Right.
But are we like,
is it gonna be so good? You're like, this is all I get. That's
right. If I watch Nova, I'm like, that's awesome, and it's like, congratulations, you might see him again sometime. I don't know.
But if they can put together a cool 50-minute thing, and then everybody's like, man, I want more of that, and then boom, there he is in Avengers King Dynasty or
I'll say I am a little afraid they're getting too much. Like they're juggling a lot, and I'm a little nervous about that. And I'm a little nervous too because I think it's harder for normal fans, or like not like, oh, I read comics and stuff, like just regular moviegoers. Like, there's going to be so much at some point that they're just going to stop going because they're going to be like, well, I couldn't keep up with it. So I know it's connected.
That's
I don't know.
Banana right now.
Right.
Like that's
fatigue
happening right. Yeah.
The
Banana
MCU
can't
fatigue is going to set in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I said multiverse to my wife, she was like
her eyes glazed over.
She did. She's like, I am out. She's like, I can't do that. Time travel was enough.
I know.
I was like, I know.
And I know the exact same feeling. Very, very excited to see what they do with this. Like I said, especially with, within phases as you get down the road, they may be waiting till the next phase to do the mutants, and they may do a whole mutant saga. There's so many amazing mutants that if you need to, like, you can't showcase them all in one X-Men movie. So there's you can just see Feige's plan in motion, and I trust the guy. So next on the rundown is something that I just threw in here because it's something came out a few weeks ago at least, and I'm pretty sure we've never mentioned it on the rundown, which I cannot believe, because this is one of those shows where it's like everybody who comes on as a host is like, yeah, Community's freaking greatest TV show of all time, or one of them, at least in the comedy section, and the nerd section. Recently announced 6 seasons in a movie. Not the name of the movie, but they did 6 seasons of the show, and now they're gonna make a Peacock exclusive movie, or a movie exclusively for Peacock, the NBC streaming service. I'm elated. One concerning thing though is Donald Glover isn't named as a cast member yet or at all. So that makes me a little bit nervous. Obviously, I don't think we'll see Chevy Chase come back.
I don't think so.
More Allison Brie and Joel McHale, please. Morgan, I know you're super excited for this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, more Allison Brie. But no, I am excited for this. The Community is one of those. If you're a nerd, you'll love the show. They reference so many things, do so many things. It's just awesome. So, and it's great because every maybe every season. At some point, they literally would joke about doing 6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah.
Like that was a joke, and then they only did the 5, and we're like, oh, it's not coming back. Then they brought it back for an extra season. They did the 6 seasons. Yep. And so now it's like, oh, and now they're getting the movie. So it's just fun to see, and I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to support it. I
have to do a community rewatch.
Oh yeah, we did one not too long ago. So good.
Eric, this is a show that has inspired this show quite a bit, in the sense of like they would do themed episodes, much like how we've done in the past, or on Presents, and some of the best themed shows I've ever seen in anything.
Oh yeah.
Are you excited?
Modern Warfare is still the first Modern Warfare episode is probably my favorite of all time. Just unbelievable.
I've never been like,
I know.
Watching a TV show just in elation.
The whole show is just so brilliant from beginning to end, and such a diverse cast, both racially and personality wise. Like the cast could not have been more
different.
Just different. And it was spectacular. Like everything, even the side characters, like the
old guy,
the old guy.
Yeah,
you have like
Leonard.
Leonard.
Starburns.
And then you have the dean.
The dean is so good.
The
Dean Belton.
Just cracked me up.
Or Senior Chang.
Senior Chang. Yep. So just
the rise, where we got in
Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong,
he came from that show.
It's
so good.
Fabulous stuff. So this makes me so happy. I think we got. So how it worked out was, I think, Darren, you had seen something on that was like, there's a rumor going that we're getting this, and then I immediately got on to like, I think Meg got on to.
She tagged me in Facebook, and
that's what it was. She tagged
us. I'm like, they've always talked about 6 seasons in a movie.
And then I went on to Peacock, and I was like, this is real, like, because it came on there, and it's all six seasons in a movie, and everybody was like, oh my god,
they're all sending each other like, maybe this is starting to become a real thing,
Right.
It was like we're Charlie Daying it, we're untangling the hands. Very excited for this. No details on plots or release yet, but it's in the works, people. In the works, nerds. Next on the rundown, we have some Star Wars. We'll visit the Star Wars world real quick. Have to plug Andor. If you have not started Andor, oh my goodness, get on that right now. Lord of the Rings is over. She-Hulk is over. Should be no excuse. Get on it. It is so freaking good. The 3rd and 6th episodes, it's like a 3-story arc for the first 3, and then a 3-story arc for the 4 through 6, and it builds up to this 3rd episode arc. It's just phenomenal. It's up there. It's up there. It's competing right now for me. It's competing with House of the Dragon. What's best on TV right now. But
which we're covering on the recap show. In case you haven't tuned into that, you should tune into the recap show.
Very good point.
Bummed I missed the last one.
Yep.
With you on that one. We are doing the weekly recaps and the Nerd Rundown recaps. Tune in. Eric's hosting. He does an amazing job. Awesome job. Yeah. Amazing.
Just
amazing. You don't need to tack anything on it.
He does an amazing job. And it's either we're probably going to keep it to two hosts just to keep the flow going. But we do a great job at trying to break down those episodes as best as we can.
They're so dense. There's so much stuff happening. There's so many moving parts.
So much stuff.
And the cast is huge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the plot and this season has been
all great.
They're amazing. Yep.
Look at that. We're talking about it right now. We're already like
it's one of the shows that it's up there. And this last this episode, get on that too. But coming up in the Star Wars world, we have a report saying that Lars Mikkelsen, yes, Mads Mikkelsen's brother, will return as Grand Admiral Thrawn in Ahsoka, as the live-action version of Grand Admiral Thrawn, as he voiced that character in the Clone Wars Rebels series. I think it was just maybe, but maybe it was Clone Wars too. I haven't finished Clone Wars. Need to finish that.
Yeah.
Either way, in the animated world, he voiced Thrawn, who's just one of the best all-time Star Wars characters, who's never appeared in live action. Cannot wait to see. His voice is incredible. If you don't know him, look him up. Or if you don't know the name, look him up. You'll be like, oh yeah.
He debuted. He debuted in a series, a book series by Timothy Zahn, back in the '90s, and I had not read any Star Wars stuff, any Star Wars fiction at all. And I remember I read all three of those books as fast as I possibly could when I found it, because it was just so good, and the plot, the Star Wars, the you got Luke Skywalker, Han, and Leia, and so.
Rise of Thrawn, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's it's by author named Timothy Zahn. You should read it. If you read it, it will break your heart. Oh, because Disney had it all laid out there for them, and they chose to go in a different direction. They could have gone and done something spectacular and everything. I think that's what makes me the most angry about that whole thing, is that trilogy was bonkers good, really good.
I mean, there's the whole the whole Legends series of books that are now not canon. The Rogue Squadron movie, if we ever get that's based off an incredible book series.
Yep.
So anyway, Lars Mikkelsen, if you watched, was it House of Cards, where he played the Russian that was kind of supposed to be like Putin, I believe.
Yeah.
Watch House of Cards.
So it's either that or that was Homeland.
This doesn't have anything to do with it, but did you guys remember the DirecTV commercial that was on TV with the Russian guy that was supposed like a Putin type guy, where it was he had the little miniature giraffe with him?
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
He's the opulence. I has it, and he's got this little miniature giraffe that he kisses on.
Remember that? Yeah.
He says, so when DirecTV tells me they give me most premium television package, I jump in it.
Yeah.
This is you saying when DirecTV.
And then he's got this little mini giraffe that's like 3 feet, like 2 feet tall, and he's like.
I'm gonna have to go YouTube that now.
Oh my gosh. But anyhow, Lars is not that actor, but he reminds me he just reminds me of that guy for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Well, he plays a very convincing Russian, and he's got some good genes there, Morg. Mads Mikkelsen being his brother.
Yeah. Yes, that's what you ever think my family isn't one of those my dad's an actor, my mom's an actor, so I'm an actor.
I'm the underachiever. I know I'm the underachiever in the family.
You're the Chet, Morg.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, this is this is frustrating. No, it's exciting. I always like when they can get the voice actor, and they throw him into live action, because I'm just like that. That's just, it makes me happy, because that person's like, when they see man, I voiced that character, and now I'm not even in a live action show. It's like you feel bad, but no, I think he'll do a great job. We know he will. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
They definitely. That's a good point, Morg. They brought Katie Sackhoff up from Clone Wars to be Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian.
Right.
They modeled the character after her. They didn't model Ahsoka off of Hot Pants. What's her name? Claire from Daredevil. Night Nurse. Wow, I just forgot her name. What's
Clark's
her name?
too.
Let me just name a few more. Alexander.
Oh my god, what is her?
Wow, podcast brain is a real thing. Ahsoka. I have.
I can't remember anything. Hot Pants.
I know this is.
I don't think that's her official name, but
you know who I'm talking about when I say it.
Yeah, Rosaria Dawson.
There it is. Jeez.
Meg, stop yelling.
digging
I
that.
can hear,
Yeah,
I
you
know.
can hear Meg
Meg
yelling
yelling
at
at me right
Meg
now.
is just screaming.
Meg, no need to comment on this one. Anyway, I don't even know where we're going. Let's move on. Very excited for Ahsoka. We've got some casting news that I know another host is going to be super excited about. Barbarella is coming back to the big screen, and they have casted. Let me make sure I don't get this wrong again. Bill's favorite actress in the world, Sydney Sweeney.
Big doe eyes and pouty lips.
41st century astronaut.
He likes her large range.
The previous movie with Jane Fonda was released in 1968. It did not do well at the box office. It became a cult classic later on. Eric, do you think this is a movie Uncle Frank is going to want to watch?
Probably. I don't know about that. So I can tell you unequivocally that I believe Uncle Frank is not a Jane Fonda fan. So, but yeah, I don't. I think the movie was ridiculous. I tried watching it one time and I couldn't do it. So, and I even love
It's a real cult classic.
I love B sci-fi and I still couldn't even get through it. So I don't know. I think what I find interesting about it is that they've hired a star for it, but they don't have a director. They don't have anything like other than like,
Hey, Marvel did it. Marvel did it with.
Yeah. So I don't know. So we'll see. I think they're trying to just do whatever. Hey, do we have any? Sony's like, do we have any comic book properties? Because everybody seems to be doing comic book movies. And they're like, I don't know.
Like, what can we get?
We did like that Barbarella movie back in the '60s. That was all right,
And Sydney
let's do that.
is right down the block right now, filming Madam Web.
Yeah. So
I mean, is she still going to fight the evil scientist Duran Duran?
God, I hope so.
That was the evil scientist Duran Duran.
Listen to this byline. Barbarella, an astronaut from the 41st century, sets out to find and stop the evil scientist Duran Duran, who's hungry like the wolf. No, whose positronic ray threatens to bring evil back to the galaxy.
That's so good.
Morgan, make it make sense.
It's
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. She's hot right now. Everybody wants her in movies. She's in Madam Web. They're like, we got to jump on this. Yeah, because
she can float up to space probably.
Yeah. I feel like with the hiring of her, they're going for the over-the-top approach. Like, they're not going to try and change Barbarella into, like, a real thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like, they're not going to try to make it serious or like
a video game or something.
Yeah, they're going to go, no, we know what this is. Let's just make another ridiculous movie.
I hope they take it serious. I don't know if it's the name or what, or it's Sydney Sweeney.
After this, is she going to do that?
Giving me, straight barbed wire.
Yeah, that's it. Barbed wire. Maybe he'll be in that next.
It's going to be ridiculous either way. And speaking of ridiculous either way, we get some Transformers Rise of the Beast news, Eric. Michelle Yeoh and Pete Davidson are cast in the prequel that is set 13 years before the original movie with Shia. It's going to show how this Autobots and Decepticons made their way to Earth. Thoughts?
Both. I'm a little split there. Tremendous amount of respect for Michelle Yeoh. Like everything she's been in, she's always just dynamite.
What a year she's having.
Yeah. And I still have not watched that Everything All at Once movie, but I've heard it's really spectacular. So she's just a tremendous talent. She's a tremendous actress. And so, like, if you could think of a person who she is like an Academy Award winning type, or like she's been nominated for an Academy Award. Wasn't she like for the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Like I think she was nominated. And so like her acting credentials are like pristine. And then
almost
you have like if you could think of the opposite of that and have like
Adam Sandler at the start.
Yeah, like a complete shit show of a human being, then you would swing over here and it would be Pete Davidson, you know, like
Man.
you would look at that. So I am unhappy with the Pete Davidson cast, but I find the guy super annoying. He isn't endearing like Adam Sandler.
That
or
one
any of those
movie
guys.
was pretty good. That the Long Island firefighter movie.
I heard that was good.
I liked that movie.
Yeah. In spite of him.
In spite of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I was gonna say in spite of him.
was
Like
was
he's
like the
doing his
weakest
best to
part.
try and make you hate it, but yeah.
Not really. It just was like it was a nothing for me.
Yeah.
For him.
I do
But the rest of the movie
You're
was
there for Bill Burr.
I do like the
Absolutely.
I do like the prequel idea. I do like the dropping it 13 years ahead of stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm always, you know, Jackson and I love the Transformers. It's one of our favorite things to watch. So in fact,
It's one of my
he's being
favorite
Bumblebee
things
for
when Jackson
Halloween
brings
this
me a
year.
transformer I can't do, and he does it, and I'll like, and I'm like, how do you do that, dude?
Right.
Like, it amazes me.
Yeah, he's gonna be Bumblebee for Halloween this year. So
Awesome.
He's got his Halloween costume all set to go. He's ready to rock. So
Cool.
but yeah, so I like that they're going back in time a little bit. I really enjoyed. I'm kind of confused on that because like we're jumping through when we do prequels and stuff like that, because we already did a prequel where Optimus
Bumblebee.
and we did the Bumblebee movie, and that was way before Shia and all them, and we got like an Optimus and we got Bumblebee. So I'm not sure how that's going to fall into canon, or whether we're just kind of scrapping that and being like, whatever, So but
Robots.
anyhow, yeah, robots. in
Yeah,
disguise.
I don't remember, Morg, if they made that canon. I thought they did make it canon.
I thought so. I thought so too. Now, to be fair, I saw Transformers 1, 2, and 3, and then that was it. And I
I forced myself to watch the last two.
I know, that's the thing. Like, they started losing me. Not that like I didn't want to watch them, but I was like, I'm not going to theaters for this. And then once it came to streaming, I just forgot and just didn't watch them. So like I have no interest in this. Again, confused. Like, I thought Bumblebee was here for a while, but if this is going to show them coming, but it's only 13 years before Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. I think this will do okay at the box office, but
yeah,
meh.
I only was able to watch 4 and 5 because when Banana was pregnant with Joey in 2019, she was in the hospital for like a little bit before the
So
baby
you
was born.
watched it on TV.
Yeah, so no, I would just bring my laptop in after she fell asleep in the hotel room. I'd watch it laying next to her, and I'm like, what am I gonna watch? I'm gonna watch Transformers. I'm gonna do it. I'm in a hospital. If things go really bad, I'm in a hospital. So
Me and my wife
There's
watched Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. That was a mistake. Nothing you want to see in the delivery room.
Red Wedding.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel that used to be out there a long time ago. They made a few videos, a video series called Dad Holes, and it's just these two. It's like 2 or 3 dads sitting on the bench.
Channel there, Eric.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 dads.
I've never heard of it.
It's so funny, and they're like sitting there watching their kids at the park play, but you never actually see the children. They're just like yelling at the
Right.
basically, mysterious kids. And then the one dad talks about how his kids, he's like, my kid watches Attack of the Clones over and over, and the other guys are like, that's the worst one, and he's like, I know, and that's how I feel. Like, that's how I feel with Jackson. Like, Jackson like he loves, like, I'm like, don't you
The one
like
with
the first one or the
dinosaurs
third one? Yeah, but he's like, I love the dinosaur one, Dad, and I'm like,
Robots, dinosaurs. It's the best of. both worlds.
You're like, but when that thing wraps itself around the building in the third one, it's
Yeah,
really
like, that's
cool.
what
You know?
they jump out of the things, and
Yeah, but Optimus Prime is riding a T-Rex.
Yeah.
They have the suits, you
and
know.
then the other one's got a knight in it. I mean, how could you go wrong? And a dragon? Like, what could go wrong with that? Like,
Yeah, I forgot. They lost me.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't.
In fact, tonight, I'm not even kidding you. We were at basketball practice. We had basketball practice. Jack brought his iPad. Guess what he's watching? Transformers.
That's great.
Not any of the good
Great.
ones.
Not the good one.
Not the good ones.
Like I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for number 2. Just I don't know. The trailer for number 2 just blew me away. I love that. Anyway, we'll move on to one of the big stories from this year was, the Batman with Robert Pattinson and how that kind of is maybe shaping the DCU or whatever, moving forward, who knows? But they are expanding that universe onto HBO Max with the Penguin series. And we got our first official detail from this, Morg.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first scene takes place a week after the flood at the end of the Batman. Spoiler alert. Oops.
I don't know how the flood happens.
True. Yeah.
Those
So
levees.
a week after the flood, it's still he's still walking through water in his office. It doesn't tell you much, but it tells you a lot, actually. So thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's a penguin, so you gotta. But no, Eric's rolling his eyes if he can't
Eric's
see.
trying not
He's
to
trying
laugh.
not to laugh. There it is. It's a bad joke. No, this makes sense because I was a little nervous about the idea of a Penguin spinoff show, and then I watched the Batman. I'm like, I'll watch it. Spinoff show
Immediately.
So it makes sense.
Could have filmed it next to it.
Yeah, it was like, this is perfect because it's going to be a power struggle. He's taking over for whoever. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but whatever. He's taking over. He'll
Falcone.
be taking over for Falcone. Falcon. He'll be taking over for
He's
him.
taking a break.
Yeah. So
Falcone's taking a break.
Falcone's taking a break. He's taking a long break. But it makes sense.
Into the light.
You can make a good show about that. There's going to be a power struggle after the flood. A lot of stuff is wiped out. Gotham's got to rebuild. It's going to be chaos still. Somebody's got to be there to run the underground. The underground doesn't disappear. So it makes sense that he would be stepping up, and that's what we're going to watch, him trying to do that and fight. And I think it could be good. It could be good.
Hell yeah. I like a good old power struggle. Eric, what was your first thought when you saw that? It's a week after the flood.
The time period really doesn't make a difference to me. I kind of agree with Morg, though. I was really surprised at how great the Penguin character turned out to be in that movie. I did not anticipate. I mean, I made jokes about Colin Farrell, being a blunt object used to nail things. So, Colin Farrell.
Yes, please.
So,
Hey-o.
but he surprised me with how good he was
as
the Penguin. I did not anticipate him being as good as he was. So I'm anxious to see more of the Penguin. I think it's definitely a surprise. The Batman and the Penguin character both were pleasant surprises to me. So
I don't know why I wasn't expecting more. I mean, he is Bullseye. It's phenomenal as that.
Does he lick his thumb first and then
He does.
He does something.
It does like the eyebrows. I don't know.
Oh yes. Gosh.
Killed a with a peanut.
You know who should be? You know what would be a great full circle moment is if Jennifer Lopez is in Daredevil. Think about that one for a second.
That'd be wild.
I'll come back to that. Tom Cruise is heading to space next on the rundown. Eric, my space buddy nerd.
Right.
My Tom Cruise nerd buddy. he's actually going to go to space for his next movie.
Well, nobody does sci-fi better. We do love our Tom Cruise sci-fi stuff. So I think this is interesting because the rumor was that we were going to get a Mission Impossible space movie, and I don't think that's what we're getting. I think we're getting a completely separate project that's going to be in space, because I think that was the rumor was, hey, he's going to space, and it's most likely a Mission Impossible movie. And it doesn't sound like that's where this is going, that this is going to be a completely separate project, because I think Christopher McQuarrie is the one he's been working with, right?
Did they film both back-to-back 7 and 8? Didn't they film both of them back-to-back?
I thought that they did. Yeah. So they've got Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, they did them back-to-back.
They're both filmed. But I had thought that we were getting whatever the next one was as being a Mission Impossible movie. The space one is being but it doesn't sound like that's going to be the case. It's going to be something where he has to go up to the ISS space station and save the day somehow. So, yeah. This is awesome. So
yeah,
I don't care. Just pre-order my tickets now and let me know when I need to get my butt in the seat. Because,
yes.
Yeah. So love Tom Cruise, love space.
Oh yeah.
So
good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Makes sense. Yep. Science.
It's just science.
Science.
Oh, I know that Fast and Furious need to keep making movies because Tom Cruise is clearly ripping them off. They're like, oh, you want to jump a car out of a big building? I'll run on a building. You guys are going to space? I'll actually go to space.
Right. Yeah.
What do you guys got next, Fast and Furious? What's my next movie?
Time travel.
Time travel? Already did it.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
He did it better than anybody.
Why do you think I'm so successful?
Did he time travel?
Yeah.
Time travel.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh, yeah. Is that time travel?
The whole movie's about time travel. He lives the same day over and over.
Yeah.
It's because that was named something else before. It was Tomorrow
Never
War.
Dies. No.
It was Tomorrow War, wasn't it?
No, it was
Tomorrow War is the Chris Pratt.
Live, Die, Repeat was the name of the movie, but they changed it. The Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, but now it's Live, Die, Repeat.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it was like Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah, he tried. Anyway,
fun fact,
which is another fun.
He actually time traveled and relived that day. It was shot in real.
They are making a sequel to that too at some point.
Well,
which I cannot wait.
Yeah,
with Joseph
they should.
Kosinski or Chris McQuarrie.
That one was.
I think that was McQuarrie.
Doug Lehman.
Doug Lehman.
Which is who he's doing this movie with, I think, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, he's got 3 guys he works with. Obviously, Chris McQuarrie, and then Joseph Kosinski with Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah. And so this next
and
one
this one is with Doug.
With Doug Lyman. So
who did Edge of Tomorrow?
Correct. Yeah, and if you haven't, again, for those of you nerds who actually read books, I highly recommend picking up the book All You Need Is Kill, which is what the Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat is based on.
Yeah.
That they were going to originally name the movie after the book, but they said it was too confusing.
Yep.
Oh.
That's what they did. They changed it.
Yeah. So
IMDb says as Edge of Tomorrow.
I think it's a great book, and it's a short read. It's not very long, but you get Rita Vertasky is in it, and so
how many pictures are in it?
There are none. There are none in that one, and there's no scratch and sniffs either.
Oh no!
So,
dude, Emily Blunt and Edge of Tomorrow. Gosh, it does.
Easy. We're trying to get John Krasinski on here.
Yeah.
Next on the trailer train, looking forward to Tom Cruise in space.
Yep.
Next on the rundown is the trailer train. We're starting off with sequel nobody asked for in my mind, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people over the age of something that will be very excited for this as well. So I won't set that bar. But A Christmas Story 2, Christmas, kind of a oddly named movie. Eric, I know you're excited about this. Yes.
I am. I saw the teaser and I was like, this is all right. You know, like I liked seeing Ralphie put the glasses on again. Like you just got a quick glimpse of, there's a little bit of nostalgia. You get some voiceover stuff from the original movie, and then you kind of see Ralphie's clearly aged, as everybody does,
Right.
And so, but seeing those round spectacles get put on his face, I was like, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. And everybody loves Christmas movies, so I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I am cautiously optimistic here. I really am, because I just love. It's going to be hard to surpass the first one, but I don't think they're going to try. I think they're probably just going to try and make a good story and see where it lands. So it may not be as successful, but even the first movie was not successful when it first came out. It wasn't until much later on that it became the success that it was. So
home release really helped that movie.
Oh yeah. Do we know when it takes place?
I mean, it looks like he's today's age.
Yeah,
looks
right. Yeah, I'm wondering.
He was in
if that puts it in the
Spider-Man No Way
80s.
Home.
Does that put it in the 80s?
He was. Yeah, he's that one takes. Yeah, I think that's probably when it's gonna be. The time period will probably be the 80s, because he was a kid when it was in the 50s. So I would say he's probably in his 40s or 50s now. So it'll probably be the 80s or 90s is when that probably is going to take place. So yeah, but
this is getting me excited for Christmas season.
I was going to say, last year,
we got some bangers last year.
Last year with 8-Bit Christmas, I was like, that was so great, so great, such a great surprise of a movie, and so I'm hoping that this is going to be good, because the next trailer that we're going to talk about is another Christmas movie that again, Morg, I think you said something in the chat about the retelling of this story. Like, it never gets old. Like, it never gets old. So Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. And it's funny because, now that I'm a full youngster with TikTok, I remember seeing people sharing like, oh, Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds are filming some movie outside of my house. And it was them dancing in the street where we see in the trailer doing that thing. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're making. Well, now I know. It's now that.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Christmas Carol is a story I love watching every retelling of it.
Yep.
My favorite is Scrooged. I think that's the one that all guys like and all women hate.
Yeah.
I love Scrooged.
Although I still have a soft spot in my heart for the George C. Scott version that I watched when I was a kid. Because George C. Scott was always just like, the dude was terrifying. Like, he just was the intimidating guy, and to have him as like, I was scared of Ebenezer Scrooge when George C. Scott played it. But yeah, I agree with you, Morg. I think, and it's, I mean, come on, Will Ferrell and Deadpool. Two iconic guys
Ron
when
Burgundy.
it comes to making stuff up, and
Deadpool and Ron Burgundy.
It's going to be good. Now, one thing that looked interesting, it looks like they focused a lot on him and Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell's playing the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if we're really going to get that much time with him, or they just focused on that because they know, like, well, Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds said that gets you in the seats.
Right.
Variants of each other or something.
Yeah.
There's variants is the new thing in Hollywood. So we go from a couple Christmas movies, and hopefully these two movies bring some something to the table. That was also there was another Christmas movie last year that came out that was really good. I'm trying to remember what it was, but 8-Bit was phenomenal, and if we can get something more like that, that'd be great. I might be just thinking of Ryan Reynolds in that other movie that came out earlier this year, but anyway, next on the trailer train is something we probably all are going to just nope out of our existence immediately. Megan, not our own Megan, the psycho killer robot. Eric, what do you think of it?
No, for you audio only. If you can hear the sound of my head shaking,
Shaking.
I am doing the shaking head from Danny DeVito in
the nope.
yeah, nope.
Nope, give.
No, this was creepy. Like the doll, the thing is creepy. Like it's just the whole thing is creepy. And I'm not a horror person anyhow. Like to begin with, but this whole thing, like even if they didn't do anything creepy, just the doll itself, I'm like nope. Like this, like
I don't even know if I can act next to that thing.
Yeah, I don't. It was. Let's move on. Morgan, I don't know, whatever
like,
you want.
I've been having a question in my mind for a few days now. Morgan, I can't remember. Are you a scary movie person or you're not a scary movie?
I am. Like I don't really watch them. I don't mind them, but like Anna doesn't really watch them.
Okay.
Halloween we'll try to watch something, but then she doesn't ever let me put on something that's actually scary. So I'm like, and wait, I don't like dolls.
Yeah.
And this one's like in that uncanny valley where it's real but not. Like when it ran on all fours, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that. It's just a robot. Like, why can't I do that? I was like, ew. One thing that did throw me off though is like I got completely thrown out of the horror when they showed her like
dancing,
TikTok dancing. I was like, what was that? That threw me out a little bit. But the rest, I was like, oh no.
I saw that GIF of that first before I saw the trailer, and so I just saw this like little girl dancing, and I'm like, it's got good moves, I guess. What is this? and then like the next tweet down was new Megan trailer, and I'm like, oh, I gotta show the guys this. So yeah, nope. Tulsa King next on the trailer train, next and last on the trailer train. Tulsa King starring Sylvester Stallone, from creator of Yellowstone, new Paramount Plus. Thank you, Taylor Sheridan, who did Yellowstone, and he did what was that prison one?
Hell or High Water.
Mayor of
Mayor of Easttown.
No, that's Mayor of Easttown.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown. Yeah. Which was really, really good too. So he's on a bit of a roll. This looks like a pretty cool, like small town mafia type thing. I don't know, Morg, what do you think about that trailer? Is this something you can?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, it looks like it's Sylvester Stallone is part of the mob, and he gets sent to some area for some reason where there really doesn't seem to be much, and he goes in there and starts some stuff. Like that great when he goes to the weed store, and he's like, well, protection from other gangs and stuff. And he's like, well, we don't have any of that here. Like, what about the police? They're like, this is legal. And then you see the FBI show up, so it's just the classic mobster walking in, goes, yeah, I'm here to protect you from me, essentially, give me money. And it's, I mean,
that old tale.
Sylvester Stallone, that old tale. And it's Sylvester Stallone. So I'll check it out. I think I'll give it a watch.
Looks like Sly does some smashing of his own in this trailer. Eric, is this something you're excited about?
Oh, for sure. I love Sly Stallone, and Taylor Sheridan's stuff to this point has been really, really, really good. He wrote on Sicario also. Yep. So which is another one, Wind River, which with our guy from Jeremy Renner. Hell or High Water is a tremendous movie as well. So the guy is the guy can write. He has some really great stories to tell. And,
he did that one with Chris Hemsworth too, didn't he?
Army of 12, or
I think he did that one too.
Yeah.
That one really surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyhow, he just is he's really, really great. So I kind of like Sly Stallone moving to the TV. Like I like, because he usually up to this point I think has only done feature length movies. So I think it's going to be kind of cool to see him on on the small screen. Although I have not watched the Prime movie that he made, where
Not
he was
yet
kind of that
either.
retired
Samaritan.
superhero. But I
haven't
haven't heard
either.
everybody that I've
Yeah.
talked to who has seen it has been like, it's really good. Like it's actually
good.
it's actually surprisingly good. So
It's a weird one where like I don't see anybody.
I don't. Yeah, I haven't seen.
reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
anything
nobody's
about it.
talking about it.
I've talked to a couple of people, couple people that aren't
Insiders.
like normal people that I talk to about my stuff, and they were like, "Oh, I really liked it," So we'll see, how it kind of comes out, but yeah, so
Normal people that talk to you about your stuff.
Yeah, what does that mean? Or what are we?
well, like normal for us.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
Let's move to the nerd box. That was a really giant rundown. Great job, guys. There was some really great commentary in there. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the rundown. Lots to cover. Let us know what you thought. Opening up the nerd box comes a banked question from a good friend of the show, Mike Hodgkinson. He sends in the old game, the old F, Marry, Kill game. So, and when I say F, you know what I mean, or letter meaning, or you can just call it Hulk smashing, or She-Hulk smashing,
Murdoch smashing,
Murdoch smashing, Marry,
Spoiler
Kill.
alert.
And so this is a game that gets played online when you get 3 similar properties. And you have to decide to have sex with one, marry one, so that's the one you are with the rest of your life, and then kill one when you never get it again. And there are 3 animated properties. They are widely considered 3 of the best animated superhero properties. In Batman, the animated series from the mid-90s, X-Men, the animated series from the early to mid-90s, and Spider-Man, the animated series from the early to mid-90s, which was also tied into the X-Men animated series at one point. So I will start with Morgan on this one.
And I'm picking 3 for each.
No, you're picking one to smash.
Oh, so out of these, so
Yeah,
I got you. I thought I was doing the 3 for each one. Jeez, that's going to change some things. All right, so
we need to go to Eric first.
No, I got this.
Okay. I know you've probably watched this a lot more so than Eric did. So your answer.
And before I answer this, Spider-Man, the animated series.
Yeah.
What period of Spider-Man's life did that take place in again?
College.
Okay, out of high school. All right.
No, not high school.
Just got to double check before we make these answers.
Either he was in college or he was right after college.
So as far as the lovemaking portion, I was torn. I'm torn between Harley and Black Cat. I'm gonna go Harley.
No, you got to pick.
No, you're doing it wrong, Morgan. Let's wait.
I gotta pick. I gotta pick 3 for each.
All go.
Wait, my question was, am I picking 3 for each one? And you said no.
No, Morgan.
All go.
Morgan.
All go.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, and this may this may surprise you. So,
okay. I can't wait to hear.
Because I am. And I haven't watched any of these series, so I'm just kind of spitballing here. But
okay,
I probably would go with the Spider-Man for the F.
Okay.
I would go with the X-Men for the Mary, because there's just so many different characters in the X-Men that you could just tell so many different stories that you could I could live a long time with that.
Yeah,
and then I would have to
kill the Batman. Huh?
I would kill off the Batman. So
wow, that's a lot coming from.
I know, Batman. And I'm the big Batman guy, but yeah. So that's what I would do. So you're only allowed to play. You're only allowed to color in these boxes, Morg. So
yeah, because I thought.
Yeah. Do you want me to go and show you one more example?
I know how to do it now, but you got now that I.
We'll end with
see my little post-it.
Now, I like your options there, Eric. I flip it and reverse it. I would I'd F Batman all day long, dude.
Mm.
That's some. While you have like a lot of characters in the X-Men animated series, the Rogues Gallery in the animated series, it is dense and it's vast, and there's so many good stories there. The Spider-Man, I'd kill off. That's hard for me to say because it's a really, really good series. But even when you put it up next to the other series that they got shown with, X-Men blows it away. Oh man, please forgive me, Spider-Man. So yeah, I'd marry. Believe me, I basically did marry the X-Men animated series, and then I grew up and still loved it. So it was that was my life. Saturday mornings for a while. So, all right, Morg, do you get it now?
So I don't need to.
You understand how to play?
You can still do that if you want to, Morg.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Harley Quinn does fall into the show that I would make love to. So
yes.
I agree. Batman's the one.
Separate question.
Some relations.
Batman is the one you do the deed with. You have relations with Batman. I would marry X-Men and then kill off Spider-Man. So I'm in agreement with you. And it's not that Spider-Man is bad. It's just, to me, the X-Men holds more of a special place in my heart, which is who I would be marrying.
Oh, yeah.
Would hold a special place in my heart. So I go with them. That does not mean don't stop making Spider-Man content, please.
Here's the reason. When I think about the best Batman stories, I think of the animated series. When I think about the best X-Men stories, I think about the animated series and in comics, but the animated series was just too big in my life. When I think about the best Spider-Man stories, I think about the movies, the video games.
Right.
I don't think about the animated series.
No, it makes sense.
Boom.
Well, I'm glad I had to go through the list I did right.
I'm like, where are you going with this?
People would judge me after I read my list.
What are you into over there, Morgan? Morgan had to write up a list of all the
I did. I was
having sex with. I want to see that list. here's the whole list of shows that I had sex with. Anyway, we want to thank our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. Again, you can find them at combatthechaos.com, combatthechaos.com, or on Instagram at combat.the.chaos on Insta. Guys, what a show. Thank you so much. I'm gonna enjoy listening to this one over and over again. We thank you all for listening over and over again. The show's growing. Sponsor. Merch is coming. I'm trying to find a good merch partner. If you guys know,
I'm working on a merch. I'm working on a merch thing. At least
we're trying.
Dude. At least for stickers. I may have some.
Let me know so I can get some merch.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I love wearing this Combat the Chaos shirt, but if I could wear a Nerd Rundown shirt, I would be in heaven. So, with that being said, see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.
Deuces.